In a world filled with photo filters and similar apps, people are now taking pictures everywhere they go. Whether it's selfies or a sunset, everyone is looking to post their next best click. However, things are different when it comes to professional photography. In this field, you can never go wrong with a few extra tricks up your sleeves. So whether you're a beginner, an advanced photographer, or use photography as a hobby, you'll surely benefit from knowing how you can take your craft one step further and improve as a photographer. In the end, if you really want to improve your photography skills, then you need to make a plan and take action. These tips and tricks will only help if you're willing to put in the effort. So go ahead, grab your camera, and start working with us. I'm Mike with List25, and here are 25 easy tips that you can incorporate in your life as a photographer. And as a note, yes, Tristan was the one who wrote this list and provided a lot of the images you'll see, in order to enhance the fact that these tips work. Unless you hate them, then at which point, art's subjective.
Hell yeah, it is. Art is subjective. Unless you love it, then you're right.
Yeah. 25. Appreciate other forms of art. A photographer is an artist who captures the world in their lens. Every aspiring photographer needs to appreciate different forms of art. They're basically teachers all their own, whether it's painting, sculptures, interior design, graphic design, etc. You never know when inspiration might hit. Hence, museums are the ideal locations to find your next muse. Spend a day in one of these amazing buildings studying an artist's work and write down why you either love it or don't. This is a beautiful picture. Oh my God, it's focusing. You know what? Give me a second.
Okay.
Perfect.
Nice.
I took one of Sakib.
Okay.
He is my muse. 24. Actually learn about the three main pieces that go into photography. Despite what many people try and claim, having a fancy DSLR doesn't make you a professional photographer. Trust me, I know. Auto mode will only get you so far, and you should know what's being adjusted in that setting so you can take matters into your own hands. First is shutter speed. God, it's slow. Oh God. Shutter speed. It's time to focus. This is the amount of time that your camera allows light to enter. This setting is measured in fractions. For example, 1/30th shutter speed is the shutter staying open for 1/30th of a second. What's the shutter speed on this thing? What are we on?
On auto right now.
Shh.
Okay.
23. Aperture. Next is Aperture, and this is the setting that will really start showing some results. Aperture is how wide the lens can open, meaning the amount of light that's being let in. Aperture is what you should get excited about as a photographer because that's what generates that blurry background that people associate with beautiful photos. Aperture is measured in what's called f-stops. The higher the aperture, the lower the f-stop. The lower the f-stop, the blurrier the background. Oh, I'm gonna make this background so blurry. You know what? There. No.
What setting is it on?
I don't know. Tristan.
If it was on Tristan's setting, those photos would be good.
No, it's on Tristan's setting. It's taking pictures of Tristan.
Ah, got it.
22. Ooh,
This is further proof why people need this list.
Shut up! ISO. Finally, we have the ISO. ISO stands for In Search Of. Just kidding. International Standards Organization. It marks the sensitivity of your camera to light. To put things simply, you'll notice very drastic changes based on your ISO. Most modern DSLRs have a low ISO setting of about 100 and a maximum setting of 3200. The higher the ISO, the brighter the image, but also the grainier the picture. Tristan's note, I almost always shoot outside daytime portraits with an ISO of 100, but typically need to switch to a higher ISO for indoor shooting. Each of these settings come together to create proper exposure for your images and are completely customizable in the manual mode of your camera. Professional photographers like to stay in this setting. This is where they have control, and you can too. Oh man, I'm gonna set so much. Oh. What did,
Are you in manual mode?
I think, if M means manual,
Yes, okay,
I'm
you're
in manual mode.
You got it.
How do I go back?
Oh my god.
Shut up, stay there. Don't, I
Okay.
got this. Ooh, tungsten light.
Are you adjusting like the white balance now?
I don't know how not to.
Okay.
Is this touchscreen?
No.
Cool.
What?
Shut up, I'm touching Q. Oh, I got it. Oh, okay. ISO?
Yes.
6400.
That's gonna be so white.
I know. Yes!
Is it just white?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually looks like I took a drawing. It almost looks like I drew you.
Interesting.
21. Adjust your perspective. Try to adjust your perspective when it comes to photography. Use your camera in different angles and leave your comfort zone. Anyone can point a camera at a provided level. Try using a ladder, climbing a tree, or finding a camera angle completely above the head of your subject.
What are you doing?
Getting a ladder.
Oh my god. Don't hurt yourself. We're not insured.
Try. When photographing plants, Tristan, be a plant. Try shooting from underneath for a new style. With a different perspective, really?
Yes.
I have this. With a different perspective, a photographer almost always gets that creative nudge that they're searching for. God, I feel so creative. You didn't think I'd get a friggin' prop in the middle of this, did you?
I never put anything past you.
20. Select a single color and focus your photos around it. Brown.
Okay.
There's not much color in this. Green.
It's not gonna focus on that.
Shh.
You're gonna need to.
Shh.
Okay.
Select a single color and try creating a portfolio using different shades. For instance, if you pick blue, then take pictures of places and things where blue is evident, such as the sky or a body of water. For a color like yellow, look for a sunflower field, or take pictures when the subjects are bathing in a golden colored sunlight. The options are endless. Just like the time it's going to take for me. This is endless. This isn't happening.
Photograph a green screen.
I'm trying.
You need to have something else in the frame, otherwise it's
Got it.
It's having trouble focusing.
Nailed it.
You got it?
I used my own hand.
Ah.
19. Photograph something you're not used to. As a photographer, it's best to expand your horizons and take pictures of things you're not used to. For instance, if you're an event photographer or used to photographing people, then maybe try landscape photography one weekend. By doing this, your photos will require new settings and angles. Once you get used to photographing a new subject, you'll gain more understanding of the tools available to you for different projects. 18. Try using a tripod. Not a lot of photographers carry around tripods, especially amateurs. Attaching the camera to your tripod gives a whole new meaning to your craft, right about there. With a tripod, you need to really focus on composing your image due to the fact that you can't move your camera around anymore. You'll have to focus on adjusting your pod on the same level as the horizon and will need to manually move it left or right in order to adjust your subject's position. This forces you to slow down and focus more on the image itself. You could start by taking a set of 10 pictures.
That's not gonna work.
This isn't working.
Yeah.
With a tripod and another set of 10 pictures without one. The difference between the two sets of pictures will be quite obvious. An additional author's hack with this is to set your DSLR in a 2-second delay so the camera has enough time to stabilize after pressing the shutter. This will produce a sharper image.
And now you know why I had the camera on a timer.
And now you know why it's called the sharper image.
There you go.
17. Always shoot in RAW. You might hear that real photographers don't edit their photos and they're ready to submit them right out of the camera. This is a lie, and a very big one. All great photographers edit their photos. There's no shame in it because it's just another part of the art and process. Edit your photos, perfect your shoots, and this is why you're gonna wanna shoot in RAW. Most DSLRs give you the option to shoot in JPEG and RAW. RAW retains all a picture's information and stores it in the digital file. This means you'll be able to tell what your ISO is at, your shutter speed, your f-stops, aperture, everything. Not only will this allow you to review your own work and help you perfect things on your future shoots, but photo editing softwares like Adobe Lightroom take this information and allow you to edit it in post. A shot is too overexposed? You can bring it down without losing any image quality. Want to change your white balance? Not a problem. Shoot in RAW.
16.
Work for free. Yeah, I know. Nobody who's trying to make it in the creative field wants to hear this. Nobody wants to get paid in exposure, but you have to stop thinking that way. In this scenario, you're not getting paid in exposure. They're not coming to you, you're going to them. You're offering your services for free in order to practice your craft and get your name out there. Networking for a photographer is really important. Online networking is a good tool, but having actual face-to-face interaction is much better. You can search for local photography clubs or photographers in an area close to you. Offer up free sessions. Don't think of it as losing money. Think of it as a free lesson. The more people you photograph and the better your craft becomes, the more potential clients will hear about you, and you'll already have a great standing with those you've already shot. Offer free sessions, and if they ask what they can do to repay you, just tell them to share the photos you take of them. Credit your work, and leave a great review on your website or Facebook page, which you should have, by the way.
15.
Focus on the edges of the frame. The subject, which is usually the main factor, is not the only factor of an image. It's important to examine the sides, the corners, the bottom, and the top sides of the frame. You need to make sure that everything is working well together and nothing is out of its place. You need to look at every section of your image in order to make sure there's nothing taking the focus away from your subject or subjects.
Don't
Like these
cut any
chairs.
part of their head off.
I'm gonna cut your head off, right? Perfect.
My head's fully in the frame, isn't it?
No!
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
not at all.
Can't wait.
I'm running out of things to shoot.
14.
Find the right lighting. Photography without lighting is like a fish without water. One needs the other to survive. The right lighting can make a major difference in how your pictures are going to come out. For a photographer, knowing when the right type of lighting is available plays a huge role when it comes to improving as a photographer. Hence, start looking at sunbeams and sunbreak, shadows, reflections, artificial light, and natural light. Focus on how that light is interacting with its surroundings and the environment. I'm switching to flower mode. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
That's macro. Okay.
God, that was hideous. This ISO is terrible.
13.
Learn an editing software. Tristan's note, my go-to editing software is Adobe Lightroom, with additional effects and touch-ups being done through Photoshop. These tools have completely changed my life and actually helped to launch my career in photography. I wasn't always able to rely on these tools, however. Why? Not because of a lack of understanding, but rather a lack of bravery. Editing softwares are intimidating. Not everyone is able to use them because there's so much that can be done. There are thousands of different tools to use, mix and match, enough to give someone a headache. But I promise that if you do take the time and just learn a little each day, the program will lose its intimidation and begin to open hundreds of doors for you. We live in an amazing age when almost every skill is available to learn for free in one way or another. So many YouTubers have dedicated their lives to making content that's targeted towards people like you who might be learning. Think of a photography project you want to accomplish. Then see if there are any tutorials online on how to accomplish this. The more projects you do, the better you'll become.
12.
Familiarize yourself with your lenses. An image can be completely enhanced by using a different kind of lens. Every lens focuses on certain factors. For instance, how the wide-angle lens distorts and how the telephoto lens compresses. Use the ideal lens to represent your photographic image and vision. At times, you might only have one available. Learn its strengths and weaknesses. No matter how many lenses you have, you should know about their apertures, their sharpness, and everything else they have to offer. Tristan's note, if you want to invest in your photography, you can't go wrong with it. Nifty 50. This 55 milliliter lens, which one?
It's the one that you're. It's not the one.
This
with the camera.
50.
I told you that.
This 50 millimeter lens is just a little over $100, which by photography gear standards is practically giving it away, or you can steal it from someone for free.
Don't.
Provide it's a beautiful, crisp foreground mixture together with a stunningly lovely blurred background.
What are you doing to my camera?
Stealing it for free.
Okay, guys, seriously, the Nifty 50. It's a brilliant lens. This is a Canon Rebel.
Maybe on the lead. Here.
That's just to 50 millimeter.
You were talking about it.
Okay.
11.
Be aware of your surroundings. While looking through your viewfinder, the field of view becomes narrow when it comes to the world around you. That's why... Oh, crap. That's why you should always stay alert when it comes to your surroundings. Whether you're standing on a busy street, don't do that, blocking the view for some people, or in a rough area of the town, don't forget about your surroundings. You should always be alert of everything that's happening for both courtesy and safety reasons, so you can live to capture great images. Oh. Don't get yourself killed while taking photos.
Why is the flash on?
Built-in flash cannot be raised. My camera says otherwise.
Just switch it to the green square.
Shh. Ow.
Yeah.
We'll have a hat. Did it flash?
Yes, it flashed.
Nice. It's on the green square.
Great. So you're on auto mode now.
10.
Always check the weather. When doing outdoor or landscape photography, make sure to check the weather in advance. The weather plays a vital role when taking pictures. Everything from clouds, rain, sun, snow, lightning, wind, etc. can either make or break your whole session. Make good use of the weather in order to create better photos. Make sure you're dressed appropriately for that specific weather. For instance, staying warm and dry in cold weather and wearing sunscreen and a hat in warm weather.
There you go.
9.
Abstracts. Certain photographers focus only on the abstract parts of an image, while others don't know it at all. You can use abstracts in your photography to give it a fresh touch. Focus on the tiny parts of your scene. If there's a shadow or light that's forming a new image inside of the current one, find it and capture it. Create something unique.
8.
Take pictures of attractive and unattractive things. A photographer has the gift of turning something ordinary into the extraordinary. While it's all right to photograph beautiful things like sunsets, flowers, mountains, or babies, everyone, just make sure you get permission before you photograph babies. Everyone already views these things as being beautiful. The baby's cuteness is up for debate, but I digress. Wow, Tristan. It's how a photographer captures normal things that makes them attractive to others. The photographer or the photograph?
Subjective.
Yeah. You can actually surprise yourself when you use your camera and capture something unattractive and entirely make it over. Both the photographer and the camera have the power and magic to capture things that normal people usually disregard. Like everything I've been taking a picture of today.
I really thought you were going to use that as an opportunity to say, hey, I'm taking something unattractive. Look, it's Tristan.
I already have too many pictures of you.
That's true.
Ow! Flash came up.
Yeah, I noticed.
7.
Create your own unique style. There's nothing wrong if your photography is similar to other photographers. However, your photos must possess a certain uniqueness that allows you to express your personality through the pictures you take. Therefore, it's recommended that you experiment often and try to find a specific style that matches the artistic vision you have in mind. Stay consistent with that style. However, keep in mind that there will be shoots where your style won't necessarily fit into that specific situation. Hence, don't force it, and familiarize yourself with the fundamentals in order to always have something to fall back on when required. Or have zero skill and just take to your heart's content. The flash makes it look like crime scenes.
Okay, well then turn off the flash.
No.
It's pretty easy. You just turn it to the dial with a lightning bolt crossed out.
6.
Always push yourself to try something different. Test using different scenes, darks, lights, colors, settings, etc. You never know when you might click the perfect picture. And except in my case, that's never going to happen. That's the magic when it comes to digital photography. Every picture is free, virtually. Hence, it's only a split second that might get wasted.
5.
Familiarize yourself with great photographers and great photos.
Like Mike.
Yeah, keep educating yourself in your chosen field. When it comes to photography, the more you know, the better your work gets. Hence, read books about photography, go through photography portfolios on the internet, and attend photography exhibits. Photography is a form of visual art. Therefore, it's a simple process when it comes to learning more about a certain picture. All you have to do is study that photograph or look at it closely while you take notes. If there's a certain aspect about that photo that attracts you, then make a mental note of it. Ask yourself, what makes this photograph attractive to me? Then study up on how you can implement that aspect into your own photography. The thing that makes these photos attractive to me is they don't suck. So I'm trying to implement that. It's not working out very well.
4.
Get other people's opinions of your work. Oh no. What do you guys think of my pictures? Let me know in the comments below. Displaying your work and asking for other people's opinions can get quite overwhelming and intimidating initially. However, getting criticism from others, both positive and negative, will be beneficial for you in the long run. You'll discover if you're doing anything wrong and how you can improve. You can upload your photographs on image sharing sites like Facebook, Flickr, Instagram, where people can comment on your images. However, if you don't want to publicly share, ask fellow photographers or photography enthusiasts to share their opinion of your work. Tristan's tip: asking for feedback sometimes isn't enough. Ask people to straight up tear apart your work instead, not literally, because man, don't do that. It'll make sure you focus on your improvements rather than getting caught up in only the positivity of it all. Only do this if you're comfortable.
3.
Don't be afraid to be a beginner. Once you start thinking you're the absolute best at what you do, you will stop your willingness to learn. Even the world's best photographers are always ready to learn something new. Being a beginner at something isn't going to undermine the value of your work. If you don't want to hinder your creativity, then let go of your pride.
2.
Read your camera's manual. I know this is probably the last thing you want to do, but never underestimate what you might learn when you read your camera's manual. This is going to help you immensely during your photography sessions. Majority of the manuals are available online as well, so you can save your camera's manual on your phone if you ever need to go back to it for some reason during a shoot.
1.
Don't forget to have fun. This has to be the most important tip when it comes to any work that you have. If you don't enjoy what you do, you won't learn anything along the way. Photography is a beautiful art form. Go ahead and capture images, share pictures, explore the world through your lens, and smile as you create art with your camera. Despite the end result, don't forget to have fun and enjoy your photography. So, what are some amazing pictures you've taken? Share it with us in the...
I guess you can't really share it in the comments below.
No, tweet them at us.
Yeah.
But hi.
Hi.
Here's your camera.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Keep talking.
All right. Oh, cool. Oh, this is going to be Oh, that's actually a decent photo.
Thank
I
you.
like that. I'm going to share that.
That's my tip. Just point and shoot. Don't focus.
That can sometimes work. Seriously. In case you guys are curious, this is a Canon Rebel T2i. It is a much, it's an older model, but it works. Like all the photos that you saw today, not the ones he took. Well, also the ones he took were just taken with the Canon Rebel T2i.
No, all of the ones that I took were taken with that.
That's true. And yeah, this is my nifty 50 millimeter lens. Honestly, it should be illegal what you can do with this lens.
Nice.
I mean, well, yeah, maybe we should just cut to black.
So share any pictures. What's the best picture you've ever taken? Share it with us on Twitter at List25 or with me personally at Michael B. Esper.
Please keep it appropriate.
Oh my God, yes, no.
What you
please,
consider
please.
the best picture you've ever taken.
No, hold on.
Even if it's beautifully artistically shot, keep it appropriate.
Oh boy. And if you like this, I almost said photo because we're talking about photography. And if you like this video, check out the videos in this playlist here.
Yep. What are some of your photography tips? Let us know those too in the comments below, since you can't really post pictures.
My photography tip, take off the lens cap.
That's true. I was going to actually see if you remembered to take off the lens
did.
cap. I need that lens cap, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Oh, just, give me that. You're a terrible photographer.
I'm a great photographer. Excuse me, art is subjective?
Not like that.
Yes, it is.
It's just terrible.
Nope.